Hey legends, welcome along to a new video. Now a swift little update more or less this morning. It is now officially 1 month since I smoked a cigarette, and just a little celebration for myself this morning, just hitting that milestone. There's 2 milestones actually today. First milestone, of course, 1 month without smoking a cigarette, and 2 weeks without any nicotine replacement therapy at all, other than that little inhaler thing. But that's only in a very extreme situation I'd actually lift that now, and I'm not really even looking for it. And actually the last 2 mornings I left the house, forgot it, and had to come back to get it. So that's a good sign once you start forgetting about that source of nicotine, whatever way you're getting it. If you get yourself to the stage where you can go without that, and yes, you're on to the winner at that point. But I'm not going to be stupid enough to say that I have defeated nicotine. That's probably the worst attitude I could get in my head right now, as to say, yes, I've kicked this and I'm on the far side of it and I'm never going to smoke again. I'm not going to make that mistake, because if anything I have learned over the last 2 years is once you think you're on the far side of an addiction, it's usually the point it'll pop up and grab hold of you and drag you back in again. So I'm just going to count it one day at a time right now, and I'm ecstatic. I really am. I got up this morning, literally walked into the bathroom, looked myself in the mirror, and actually give me a reflection a high five and said, "Good on you, son." That's a little technique that I learned from, I can't recall where I got that from, but when I do figure it out, and if I remember to put it into a video, I will. But self-reassurance these days, whenever you're trying to do this sort of thing, is really, really important, because if you're not in the right mindset, there's very few people that's going to help you get into that right mindset. So you need to be your biggest fan a lot of the times, and don't be ashamed to actually give yourself a little high five in the mirror and just say, "Well done, you're on the right path." But yes, that's a good feeling, and I'm finally starting to get my breathing back in order as well. It's almost as if, and it's crazy, I quit smoking and was on the patches and whatnot. They started making me sick, and then I started getting breathless in the middle of the whole thing, and came off the patches. That breathlessness kind of held in there, and I thought, right, this is weird. I was bad asthmatic when I was younger, and it was almost as if that was starting to come back in. And just for a 2-week stretch there, I was just feeling that sore chest and that kind of like breathlessness and whatnot, and almost as if the asthma had returned. But the only thing I can put it down to is I'm getting more oxygen into my lungs now than they could actually handle. So it was like a period of breaking my lungs back into breathing clean air again. So weird. Such a strange place to be whenever you're like, wow, I'm almost allergic to oxygen at this point. But it's all good. But there is still that part of me, and I know it's probably going to be a lifelong thing right now, where I am genuinely, from time to time, really starting to miss the actual physical side of being a smoker. Not just the fact of getting the nicotine into my system and the whole side of that there, that is the addictive nature of it, the chemical that keeps you addicted to it. There's something about that physical act as a smoker as well that really plays into it, and I think that's a good thing about the little inhaler thing. This is it here. It's literally just a little bit of sponge inside that has a little bit of nicotine in it. Even if I'm not using this thing, once in a while I'll have it in my hand and just be holding it like a cigarette. It's really weird. It's weird the way an addiction works. Not just in the mind, but in the physical way that you do things as well. It's like a little security blanket, this sort of thing. But for now, I'm feeling good. I feel I'm on the best side of it, the better side of it, but I'm not for an instant going to start thinking I have it defeated, because I'm very far from it. I would think I'm doing good now, but that's just now. Day at a time. That's all you can do whenever you're in this sort of condition. So hopefully this will help somebody that's watching this video or listening to this podcast. It'll help someone that's thinking about getting into it, and I've got your back. I know exactly how you feel, both physically and mentally. But oh gosh, I would be so gutted if I slipped up now, because that sickness that I just went through in the last month, do not want to do that again. But as I say, it's a very tempting thing, and it's always going to be there. So any motivation you can give me in the comments at this point, because I haven't got this far before. This is the longest I've ever gone without a cigarette. So any advice and motivation you want to give me, feel free to jump into the comments, and I will see you in the next video. There's quite a few interesting things that have happened in my life since I've started this journey, so I'm going to be documenting quite a bit of that over the next couple of months. So I'll talk to you in the next one.